I got there late, just by a few minutes, but the sanctuary was pretty full already because there was a performance of Annie Jr.
I had seen the practice before, so when I sat down, within 5 minutes, I knew something was wrong.
15, 20 minutes into the very first scene, we just hear this really loud bang.
And the second shot, the woman in front of me had on a white blouse and it went all bloody. And people started screaming and running around.
I had immediately scooted my elbow back to push in my younger daughter that was sitting next to me. When I did that, that's when another shot went off. I had gotten shot twice.
I just kind of was rushed out the back door. For a little bit, I couldn't find my mom or my sister because they had been like sitting in the audience and I was on stage.
On television and movies, when they shoot a shotgun inside a room, they don't get that right. It's a lot louder than that. It's a lot louder than that.
I would have a panic attack, or I would have a flashback, or I would have a night terror, and I would just feel like these memories were crushing me, and there was nothing that I could do about it.
My daughters didn't want to talk about it. My dad and my uncle got shot. We just didn't talk about it. We had Sunday dinners, and we just didn't talk about it.
About 3 weeks after the church shooting, there was a shooting at Central High School. And I couldn't do it. I could not do it. Not long after that, there was a shooting at Inskip.
So I think where it was the hardest was like going back to church. And I didn't go back for a while. But eventually, like, we went back one Sunday and everything was okay.
I decided that I was going to go back to college and become a teacher. I wanted my girls to know that, you should never give up.
This is like one of my most distinct memories, and it's something that I hold very, very close to me. But we were sent strands of paper cranes as a sign of peace. I would just keep a little pad of sticky notes because they're perfect squares. And I would just start folding a crane. As I got older, I would kind of use it as a way to calm myself down.
People get caught up in trivialities until it gets really important, and then they respond in really good, honest, authentic ways.
The pictures inside the book, a lot of people are smiling. That's really what I want to capture, I guess, or that's what I was drawn to anyway, was the fellowship, the love.
Karen knew that I was a writer, and I use that term very loosely. And I ran into her in the front hallway of the church, and she said something about a book and an essay.
At that point, when she had come to me and said, "Do you want to do something in this book?" I was happy to do it. I liked the way that she placed a different perspective on how people heal. So she took a lot of pictures, and that was her healing process. For me, actually writing the essay and putting it into words, it helps me a lot to express myself that way.
There's a picture in the book where you see a man turning and the sun is hitting his face. And that's Steve Summers, and he's sitting where his wife was sitting when she was shot.
I had never really been ready to talk about it in a public way or kind of look those memories and that experience right in its face. But after the Parkland shooting, after seeing what those kids in Florida did, I was very motivated.
I think the students from that incident are so important that their voices be heard.
I wrote them a letter, which I don't usually do for shootings. God, boy, isn't that sad? I don't usually do that for shootings. Yeah, that says something right there. But I was really proud of those kids. I was really proud of them.
I guess it started, we had a vigil at our church for the victims of the Parkland shooting, and I got in front of, people I'd known my entire life, and I talked about it, and it was a very emotional experience, but I walked away from it feeling so fired up.
I don't think anybody ever really recovers from this. That just poses this giant question of, okay, then what? How do you support people? How can we help the survivors of these situations move forward in their life?
I don't do my disaster is worse than your disaster thing. All disasters are personal. All of them are intensely personal. Whether it's 2 deaths or 49 deaths or 21 deaths, as somebody who has walked through that, it's completely unimportant.
To be in the community and doing what I love to do. Keeping kids safe also is the number one priority for me, and that's always in the back of my mind every day. And if they can get anything from me, it's just enjoy your life, do what you can, and have a purpose.
If I could go back, I would never want it to happen. But I think, especially in the past year or so, I've been kind of starting to find the silver linings and starting to find positive things that came out of a really, really scary, bad thing.
There's just something about the sun will come out tomorrow. It's like it was always this anthem of hope, that we can get through this. We can get through this. Here is this beautiful rainbow coming over our beautiful church and right into the chalice. And 10 years later, the sun has come back out.